天哪！你看这云，
这都低成啥样了？
啊，这太吓人了吧！他真是带着沙尘来的。
我的。
不知道啊，快走吧，有点危险。
吓死我了都！我操！
我操！我操！我操！
Imagine stepping outside on a warm afternoon, and within seconds, the sky turns completely black. Not a gradual sunset, not a passing cloud, a solid wall of darkness rolling in from the horizon at terrifying speed, swallowing everything in its path. That is exactly what happened in Harbin, China on the evening of May 31st, 2026. And it was caught on video by thousands of people who could hardly believe what they were seeing.
哎呀，我的熊妈妈呀！
这是沙尘暴啊！
这不是吧？这太吓人了！
这警察什么时候还得警察？看了吗？什么时候还得警察呀？龙卷风他都不走，哇，帽子吹跑。
刮满嘴沙子呀！一瞬间，这个天气。
Harbin is the capital of Heilongjiang Province in northeastern China, a city of millions nestled in a region better known for its brutal winters than its extreme summer weather. But on this particular Sunday evening, nature had other plans. At around 5 o'clock in the evening, a massive dust storm combined with a violent convective thunderstorm swept into the city. A towering wall of dust, stretching dozens of meters into the sky, advanced from the northwest. In some areas, visibility dropped to less than 50 meters. Wind gusts reached what meteorologists classify as level 12 to level 13, the equivalent of a typhoon-force wind hitting speeds of up to 135 kilometers per hour. Streetlights flickered on in what should have been broad daylight. Drivers turned on their headlights. People ran for cover. Videos shared online captured the jaw-dropping moment when day became night, in under 2 minutes.
是闪电吗？刚才不是啊，是摄像头。哈哈。你看看这风啊，这是啥呀？哎呦！
我操！
To understand how this happened, we need to go back to earlier that same day. Harbin had been baking under an unusual heat wave. Temperatures climbed to around 35 degrees Celsius, extraordinary for late May in northeast China, a region that typically experiences mild spring weather at this time of year. That extreme heat built enormous amounts of unstable atmospheric energy. Then, at roughly 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a powerful mass of cold air began pushing in from the west. When that frigid front slammed into the superheated air sitting over the city, the collision was explosive. Meteorologists described it as near-winter cold air meeting summer-level warmth. The result was a fast-moving squall line, a band of intense thunderstorms generating ferocious downdraft winds.
呀，妈，这什么玩意儿？这是！
我操，黑了！
是啊。
我的天哪！你看这云，
这都低成啥样了？
啊，这太吓人了吧！他真是带。
Those winds tore across dry farmland in eastern Inner Mongolia and western Jilin province, lifting vast amounts of loose surface soil and carrying it northeast, directly toward Harbin. Within hours, that airborne dust had formed the dramatic wall that residents would later describe as apocalyptic. The impact on the city was swift and widespread. Trees were snapped or uprooted across urban neighborhoods. Roof panels, metal sheets, and billboard signs were torn free and sent flying through the streets. Parked vehicles were struck by falling debris. Bus stop windows shattered. Power outages hit parts of the city. And on the railway network, debris landing on the tracks caused contact line issues, leading to delays on multiple train lines, including the Jing'a and Shenbai routes.
哎呦我去！
末日啊！
没有我的熊妈妈呀！
这是沙尘暴啊！
这不是吧？
你上去哪去了？
还没吃饱，给你等一会儿，一会儿冷的。
我操！
At the Harbin Rongchuang Cultural Tourism City, an amusement park, visitors found themselves stranded mid-ride when a power outage stalled the roller coasters. Emergency crews responded quickly, and riders were safely walked down from the tracks. No one was seriously hurt. Across town, a large outdoor concert was underway at the Harbin International Convention and Exhibition Center Stadium, with a crowd of around 12,000 people gathered to see popular artists, including Zhang Xinzhe and Zhang Xiaohan. As the storm hit, sections of the stadium's roof canopy, large fabric panels, were torn apart. The audience was evacuated, and the event was postponed. One local resident, surnamed Kui, told reporters that she had not seen weather like this in 40 years. On social media, the hashtag Harbin Sky Black in 1 second trended nationally on platforms including Weibo and Douyin, with videos viewed tens of millions of times. International audiences also watched in disbelief, many comparing the footage to scenes from a disaster film. And crucially, authorities had been watching the weather closely. Tornado warnings and thunderstorm gale alerts were issued ahead of the storm's arrival, some as early as 4:46 in the afternoon for surrounding areas including Haihe.
挂满堆沙子呀！一瞬间，这个天气，哎呦！
快！快，老公，快看！老公，不是，你看那面，我的天哪！
Emergency teams were mobilized quickly once the worst had passed, working through the night to clear debris from roads and railway tracks, remove downed trees, and restore power. The Heilongjiang Provincial Meteorological Observatory's chief, forecaster, Zhao Ling, explained that the record daytime heat had been the key trigger. It built the kind of atmospheric instability that, when combined with the incoming cold front, produced extreme convective energy far beyond what is typical for this region in late May. As of the morning of June 1st, officials confirmed there were no fatalities and no reports of major injuries. That outcome in the face of such a violent storm speaks to both the speed of the official warnings and the rapid response of residents who took shelter when they could.
我还能从逃离北方吗？我操！我还能成功逃离北方吗？有啊！我操啊！龙烟，全是烟，
那是云子，那是乌云。
这么快？着了，右边着了，着了，绝对着了，右边往右看看。看天上的飞机无人机。
What makes this event particularly significant is its timing and its intensity. Dust storms in northeast China are not unheard of, but they typically occur in winter or early spring, when soils are dry and vegetation is sparse. A storm of this magnitude in late May, driven not by long-range desert transport, but by local soil lifted by convective winds, is rare. Climate scientists are now paying close attention. Stronger temperature contrasts between cold air masses and unusually warm surfaces appear to be increasing the risk of these kinds of extreme convective events, and events like the Harbin storm may become less exceptional in the years ahead.
我的天呐，你看这圆，
这都低成啥样了？
啊，这太吓人了吧！他真是带着沙尘来的。
你瞅瞅，吓人不？
云的话哪可能这么灰呀？
云，你现在还认为是烟吗？
对呀。
天都黑了，烟能把天整黑。你看那对面。
The Provincial Weather Authority has also warned of continued instability across Heilongjiang for the coming week, with further thunderstorms, heavy rain, and a risk of additional tornado activity in some areas. By the morning after the storm, the skies over Harbin were clearing. Air quality was slowly recovering. Emergency crews continued their cleanup, and the city, rattled but resilient, began returning to normal.
肯定是不行了。
那你这房子应该差不多这个，不应该在外头站。
The Harbin dust storm of May 31st, 2026, was a rare and powerful reminder of how quickly and completely nature can transform our environment, and of how much we depend on early warnings and swift action when it does. We'll continue monitoring this story as damage assessments are completed and as scientists analyze what this event might tell us about the changing weather patterns across Northeast Asia. If you found this report useful, please consider subscribing for more in-depth coverage of major global events. And if you were in Harbin that evening, we hope you and your loved ones are safe